Ralston Reports.
Welcome back across Nevada to Ralston Reports. We're talking to Erin Bilbray. She's a Democratic candidate running against Republican Congressman Joe Heck in CD3. I do want to talk about Obamacare, but I gave you a minute and a half to look at that. Is there one thing in there that's an attack on women?
Well,
one thing.
Can I just tell you, I think it's ironic that the subject line is, you have a choice, when this is the man that voted to defund Planned Parenthood. I think that's very funny.
You got your talking point then. I want you to, I'm giving you an opportunity to take back what you said. You know he was not attacking you as a woman. Is there anything in that email? I'll give you a chance to read anything you want. Did he attack women?
I'm absolutely going back to what I said, where that kind of activity, that kind of tone discourages women from participating in politics. And that is not good government, and he's not being responsible by starting out a campaign like that.
All right. I will stop banging my head against this wall. Let's move on to the Affordable Care Act. You're a big fan of the Care Act or Obamacare. In fact, what you said once was this is not only cut down health care costs, but creates a better quality of life for us all. That's Erin Bilbray. Studies show otherwise. In fact, The Hill, which is a nonpartisan publication, wrote today about a study that says Obamacare is costly to guess who? Women. It's a conservative American Action Forum found that on average a 30-year-old woman who does not smoke and buys health insurance on the individual market will see her cheapest available premium increase 193%. The analysis compared the cheapest bronze level plans available on Obamacare's new insurance marketplaces to the cheapest plan available in each state this year. The group found that the base cost of coverage for its sample woman would not decrease next year in any state. The group previously reported that a 30-year-old single male non-smoker would see his premiums increase an average of 260% between this and next year. That study's not an outlier. A lot of studies have shown that.
Okay, well, I don't think they're looking at the bigger picture and what the Affordable Care Act has meant for women. We're talking about there's no annual caps. You can't be thrown off your insurance. Most insurance companies were making you get a permission slip before you could go to the OBGYN. Birth control is now covered. I think the long-term overhaul cost is going to go down for women. This is better health care and a better quality of life for women. Absolutely.
You do know that women are not the only human beings in the United States of America, or in CD3, of course.
You asked me specifically about women.
But Obamacare in general, are you worried about the rollout? Are you worried that maybe it's not going to do what it says it's supposed to do?
Well, I mean, we've seen that there's been some problems with the rollout with the software. I think that's going to be fixed. I think that we're
talking. What makes you think it's going to be fixed?
Well, because it's software, and there's, we saw Twitter. There's a lot of different software that's had problems, and it gets fixed. It's going to get fixed. I mean, there's no question about it. There's going to be other issues. This was sweeping legislation that moved healthcare along. I come at this from a very unique perspective. My husband's a pediatrician. He runs a free clinic. I was involved in this private practice. I'm involved clinic. I had to deal. I would send in 20 claims for insurance companies in the same FedEx envelope, and the insurance companies would lose 5. Insurance companies were controlling medicine, and frankly, that's Joe Heck's biggest supporters are insurance companies and House leadership.
Do you think they should consider delaying the individual mandate for a year as they've offered to businesses?
And I know that there's been some discussion about that today. I think that all depends on how quickly they figure out the software problem. But if they get it up and going, then I think we should move forward.
You think you and Joe Heck are really different on this issue? He has a bill in to replace and repair Obamacare. What do you think of his approach on this?
Well, no, I think we are very different. I think that Joe Heck's biggest supporters have been health insurance companies.
I didn't ask you about who his supporters are. I don't care about his supporters. I'm talking about what he's done legislatively. He has a bill in. What do you think of his bill that would repair Obamacare?
Well, I don't agree with his bill, and I support the Affordable
What don't you
Care.
like in his bill?
I don't think it does enough. I don't think it does things like negotiating with pharmaceutical companies with Medicare. I mean, and I'd like to see the Affordable Care Act do that. That's a big problem
with me. Which it doesn't do.
No, which it doesn't do. It should do. That's a huge issue. The Veterans VA can do that. That could save us an incredible amount of money, bring down a deficit, and so that's a big issue on that.
How big an issue is immigration reform in this race, do you think?
I think it's huge. I mean, I support a pathway to citizenship. Joe Heck does not.
That's not true. He does support a pathway to citizenship.
Well, he does.
In fact, you just said he does. You said he doesn't support a pathway to citizenship. I'm going to show you what he said at a town hall meeting right here in August.
Well, I believe that, again, the pathway that the Senate bill has laid out is a reasonable pathway. I think when you look at having to go through background checks, having to pay a fine, having to make sure that your tax liabilities are paid, making sure that you then are in really a provisional status for a period of time, where you have to learn English, you have to show that you've got a job. I mean, there's a lot of safeguards that you've got to show that you have making a certain amount of money so that you're not likely to become a public charge. All those kinds of things before you're even eligible for the green card.
You said that it's a huge issue in this race. There's no daylight between the two of you on this issue, is there?
Okay, this is a perfect example of Joe Heck playing both sides and flipping and flopping and not standing for anything. He says that, but there is a bill that is a bipartisan Senate-passed bill that was a compromise that came forward, and they will not pull it up for a vote on the House.
He hasn't had a chance to vote on it. It hasn't come to the House floor, right?
You know what? He is so close with House leadership. They could pull that bill up. He is not going to do it.
How do you know he's close with House leadership?
Have you seen his who's donated to him? About $80,000.
So you're close with Democratic leadership because Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid have given you a fortune?
But they're ready to pass comprehensive immigration reform. And that comprehensive immigration reform is another situation where the Republicans are holding us hostage. I mean, this is something that we know is going to reduce the deficit. We know this is what we need as a country, and they're not doing their job. Right. That's frustrating to me.
I can see that. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk more with Erin Bilbray, who's a Democratic candidate in CD3. Stick around.